Hi there, welcome back to Transfer Talk. It's time to head abroad now, and I caught up with Portuguese football expert Filipe Dias to find out the very latest transfer news, including a potential exit for Cristiano Ronaldo at Old Trafford. Filipe, good to see you. We're going to kick off by talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. His future at United in some doubt, and you could see him moving on potentially.
Oh, yes. I mean, if things don't change at United, there's little doubt in my mind that Ronaldo will stay. He won't hang around at Old Trafford because you have to see he's at the twilight of his career in his final years, and he wants to stay competitive. That's the only way for Ronaldo to stay in the game. He has to be in a team who can lift trophies, who can earn silverware, and United is still a big club, of course, but it's not a powerhouse anymore, to put it, very plainly. It's not a major force at the moment. And things have changed. You got to give it some time. He gave an interview at Sky Sports also, where he said that it's not acceptable to be at seventh place. But for Ronaldo, it's not acceptable to be third or second either. I think he had huge aspirations, but there's a big difference between the Manchester United he once left still as a young player and the one he joined now. He wants to stay competitive. He wants to win. He doesn't want to end his career on a low note. Ronaldo is 36 now, so he does need a different challenge in his career. And I don't think if things at United go down this road and continue to go down this road, Ronaldo isn't going to stay. Not in my mind, I think.
We've just got time to talk about Luis Diaz, get your take on that. We spoke about Liverpool's interest in him. Now another Premier League club, we understand, wants him. What can you tell us? Who is the club and what is he like as a player? What would he bring to the Premier League?
Well, I think I think it was a Spanish newspaper, Marca, which really hit the nail on the head. They said that they rated Luis Diaz as the best player out of the 5 top leagues, and in my opinion, that's exactly the case. I mean, this is some player. This is a fantastic player. The Portuguese league is too small for him. He deserves something much better, and of course, the Premier League is the top league in the world, the top domestic league in the world. So it makes perfect sense that now Tottenham is also being linked to Diaz's future. Tottenham do need to improve desperately, and this guy is. I mean, he has the full potential. He has everything going for him. He's a fantastic forward, but Porto just sold 2 players in the January transfer window. These were deals that were made in the last couple of days. So maybe Porto will try to hold on to Luis Diaz because they need him to win the league until the end of the season. If Porto were to sell a key player like this now, but it's all a matter of numbers. If someone pays 70 or 80 million euros, I'm thinking in terms of euros, it's a huge sum. People in England and the UK, they frown because they don't know Luis Diaz all that well, but they didn't know Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes all that well either prior to them joining the Premier League. So this guy is an amazing player, and I'm choosing my words here very carefully. And Liverpool into him, Newcastle, now Tottenham Hotspur. We'll have to wait and see. This is going to be a huge deal. If I don't know if he's going to be sold now or in the summer, but he will definitely be a big deal.
Yeah, interesting to get Diaz's take on things. Interesting flex, saying Ronaldo potentially on his way out. Could you see him leaving in the summer?
Can't track the best players, can we?
A lot of that talk earlier today.
I wasn't talking about my team at that point. Look, I think Ronaldo wants to win. He's a born winner. He only accepts that. He was in an interview the other day talking about the standards and how Manchester United should only be in the top 3 positions, and anything other than that right now isn't good enough. Can I see him leaving at the end of the season if Manchester United finished 7th, 6th? Ronaldo in the Europa League as well? Nah, I can't see that. I can't see him staying. I can't see him staying if that does happen. I think, he came back here for a big challenge. We understood that. He knew that everything isn't rosy at Manchester United, and it was going to take a lot to get us to win something significant this year. The manager then goes on to get sacked, and we have a big change halfway through the season. So it has been in turmoil, and he's an experienced player. He will be there for the fight. I think he is committed to what is left of this season to rescue it. But Manchester United not getting at least Champions League football, especially and a trophy as well potentially. But it's a catastrophe for someone like Ronaldo. He just doesn't accept that. That's just not what he plays football for. He doesn't accept it.
He's a unique sort of mentality in terms of the way that his brain has worked. I kind of put them in that Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan. They're like generational, not just footballers, athletes.
Athletes.
And how they've separated themselves is by keeping their standards so high. And I thought what was so interesting about the interview that's been circulating everywhere this week is just the comparison in terms of when he was coming into the game as a young player in comparison to probably the young players that you see in that changing room now. And I think there was a lot of I think he's understood there's a lot of transition that's happened at Man United, but I don't think maybe he understood the level of transition that was probably needed and required at the
gravity of the task. Yeah.
I don't know if anyone did.
Yeah.
In the summer, we were saying, oh my gosh, like Ronaldo's come home, Varane's joined, Sancho has finally got there. No one realised the extent of it.
No, they didn't.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it went from bad to worse under Oli, and then even under Ralph Rangnick in the first few months of his tenure. He's realised how big a deal it is as well, even coming away from his favoured 4-2-2 formation to change it because the players aren't comfortable.
And how much of a difference do you think it would make depending on what manager they do bring in on the long term? Because Ronaldo strikes me as the type of player that certain managers can get the best out of and certain managers can't. So could that have an impact? Say United don't finish in the top three, as Ronaldo is saying he wants them to, but they bring in a certain manager. Could that convince Ronaldo to stay?
It's all about the project and the investment. And I think the biggest thing to convince Ronaldo to stay is where we finished this year. You know, like I said, if we're in seventh position or having to, I don't even want to speak this out in Europa, in the conference, UEFA conference. Ronaldo doesn't. It doesn't matter who. Yeah.
European competition.
Ronaldo.
Looking at it, Man United in seventh, as you say, on 31 points. Third place is Liverpool on 42 points. So 11 points the difference there. It is
It's
a
a
tough
fight for
Exactly.
fourth, isn't it?
So it's almost in terms of now he's put that out there to say, I don't accept anything other than third. Well.
But that's his standards.
If he stays past sixth and seventh.
That's his standards, though, because you think about where he's come from, what he's used to. Real Madrid, how many Champions League titles, La Liga titles did he win there? Individual accolades. This guy's not used to being anything apart from considered a top, if not the top player in his division in the world, then secondary at most. Yeah. He's not going to come here and subsidize his standards because of everybody else having to catch up. That's not how Cristiano Ronaldo is ever going to be wise.
I guess the question then is, though, where would he go? Where could he go as the next? What would the next?
He's running out of options, isn't he?
So hard, because obviously Filipe talked there about him potentially going full circle and going back to Sporting Lisbon, a club that he was at when he was 12 years old, and that would be the final stop. But is he ready for the final stop yet? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Is he,
I don't think he is. Ronaldo wants to challenge at the top of the game still because he's good enough to do it. But you look at potential suitors. Is he ever going to go and share the limelight with Lionel Messi at PSG? No. Is he going to go back to Spain? Probably not.
Manchester City?
Probably not.
I just think in his
Better not.
Just looking at him as a brand, as an athlete, it would have been a perfect story to finish off. Go back to Man United where you honed your skills, and then the final season, just the goodbye in Portugal, to be just honoured as a king and as a hero in Portugal at every ground he would have gone to. But it's just not playing out because...
But that's still possible. He could stay...
Oh, here we go.
He could stay past...
Because actually, it's almost like we're writing it off. We're saying, Ronaldo, it's failed.
It's not definite.
You know,
This is a hypothetical situation. If Manchester United were to continue in the trajectory that we look at the moment, there's still time in the season. There's still time to win the Champions League. There's still time to win the FA Cup. And there's still time to come first.
I'm just loving the optimism on this side.
It is Friday.
But some of us are realists.
Yeah.